Psalm 8. Divine Majesty and Human Dignity. To the choir master, according to Gittith, a Psalm of David. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is thy name in all the earth. Thou, whose glory above the heavens is chanted by the mouth of babes and infants. Thou hast founded a bulwark because of thy foes, to still the enemy and the avenger. When I look at thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast established, what is man that thou art mindful of him, and the son of man that thou dost care for him? Yet thou hast made him little less than God, and dost crown him with glory and honor. Thou hast given him dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, and all the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea, whatever passes along the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is thy name in all the earth. Psalm 9. God's Power and Justice. To the choir master, according to Mutaleben, a Psalm of David. I will give thanks to the Lord with all my heart. I will tell of thy wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, Most High. When my enemies turned back, they stumbled and perished before thee. For thou hast maintained my just cause. Thou hast sat on the throne, giving righteous judgment. Thou hast rebuked the nations. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy have vanished in everlasting ruins. Their cities thou hast rooted out. The very memory of them has perished. But the Lord sits enthroned forever. He has established his throne for judgment, and he judges the world with righteousness. He judges the peoples with equity. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble, and those who know thy name put their trust in thee. For thou, O Lord, hast not forsaken those who seek thee. Sing praises to the Lord who dwells in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds. For he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. Behold what I suffer from those who hate me. O thou who liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all thy praises, that in the gates of the daughter Zion I may rejoice in thy deliverance. The nations have sunk in the pit which they had made, in the net which they hid, has their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the work of their own hands. The wicked shall depart to Sheol, all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the Lord shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged before thee. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. Psalm 10. Prayer for deliverance from enemies. Why dost thou stand afar off, O Lord? Why dost thou hide thyself in times of trouble? In arrogance, the wicked hotly pursue the poor. Let them be caught in the schemes which they themselves have devised. For the wicked boasts of the desires of his heart, and the man greedy for gain curses and renounces the Lord. In the pride of his countenance, the wicked does not seek him. All his thoughts are, there is no God. His ways prosper at all times. Thy judgments are on high, out of his sight. As for all his foes, he puffs at them. He thinks in his heart, I shall not be moved. Throughout all generations, I shall not meet adversity. His mouth is filled with cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue are mischief and iniquity. He sits in the ambush in the villages. In hiding places, he murders the innocent. His eyes stealthily watch for the hapless. He lurks in secret like a lion in his covert. He lurks that he may seize the poor. He seizes the poor when he draws him into his net. The hapless is crushed, sinks down, and falls by his might. He thinks in his heart, God has forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thy hand. Forget not the afflicted. Why does the wicked renounce God and say in his heart, Thou wilt not call to account? Thou dost see, yea, thou dost know trouble and vexation, and thou mayest take it into thy hands. The hapless commits himself to thee. Thou hast been the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evildoer. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations shall perish from his land. O Lord, thou wilt hear the desire of the meek. Thou wilt strengthen their heart. Thou wilt incline thy ear to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, so that man who is of the earth may strike terror no more. Psalm 11. Song of Trust in God. To the choir master of David. In the Lord I take refuge. How can you say to me, Flee like a bird to the mountains? For lo, the wicked bend the bow. They have fitted their arrow to the string, to shoot in the dark at the upright in heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids test the children of men. The Lord tests the righteous and the wicked, and his soul hates him that loves violence. On the wicked he will rain coals of fire and brimstone. A scorching wind shall be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteous deeds. The upright shall behold his face. Psalm 12. Plea for the help in evil times. To the choir master, according to Sheminiath, a psalm of David. Help, O Lord, for there is no longer any that is godly. For the faithful have vanished from among the sons of men. Everyone utters lies to his neighbor. With flattering lips and a double heart they speak. May the Lord cut off all flattering lips, the tongue that makes great boasts. Those who say, With our tongue we will prevail. Our lips are with us. Who is our master? Because the poor are despoiled, because the needy groan. I will now arise, says the Lord. I will place him in the safety for which he longs. The promises of the Lord are promises that are pure. Silver refined in a furnace on the ground, purified 7 times. Do thou, O Lord, protect us. Guard us ever from this generation. On every side the wicked proud, as vileness is exalted among the sons of men. Psalm 13. Prayer for deliverance from enemies. To the choir master, a psalm of David. How long, O Lord, wilt thou forget me forever? How long wilt thou hide thy face from me? How long must I bear pain in my soul and have sorrow in my heart all the day? How long shall my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Lest my enemy say, I have prevailed over him. Lest my foes rejoice because I am shaken. But I have trusted in thy steadfast love. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing to the Lord, because he has dealt bountifully with me. Psalm 14. Denunciation of godlessness. To the choir master of David. The fool says in his heart, There is no God. They are corrupt, they do abominable deeds. There is none that does good. The Lord looks down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there are any that act wisely, that seek after God. They have all gone astray. They are all alike corrupt. There is none that does good, no, not one. Have they no knowledge, all the evildoers, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and do not call upon the Lord? They shall be in great terror, for God is with the generation of the righteous. He would confound the plans of the poor, but the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that deliverance for Israel would come out of Zion. When the Lord restores the fortunes of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, Israel shall be glad.